Hi y'all, it's Pam at Pink Dragonfly Wings, and I'm here with another little project. This is a really simple little project that would make a really nice little Christmas gift, a little stocking stuffer or what have you. And we're going to make it out of this envelope. It's one of those return envelope things you get in the mail. This is just my template, and we're going to make a bookmark to fit down in a little bookmark cover. So we're going to make the cover and the bookmark, and we're going to make two bookmarks because I want to show you two different ways to do it. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is take our envelope, and this is just a regular envelope. It's almost 9 inches by almost 4 inches. So pretty close, 9 by 4, just a regular standard envelope. And what we're going to do on this side, first we're going to cut off a little bit down here because it won't fit on my little cutter here. So we're going to slide this in, and ever so slightly we are going to cut off just a sliver. For those of you that are not from Texas, I live in Colorado, but I am a Texas girl. That means just a little bit to open it up. Okay? Now then, we need this envelope to be 3 inches, I think. Is that right? Let's see here. 2.5 inches. Glad I checked. 2 1/2 inches, which is right there. Cut that off. Now then, our bottom is still connected. Okay, we still want our bottom connected. We want it to look like this. And then we're going to make our case. This is our case, and we're going to make it 6 inches long. So we're going to turn it over and cut that off. All of this stuff can go in the trash or wherever you put that kind of stuff. Our bookmarks. This was a piece of 12 by 12 cardstock that I had in my stash that I'd cut off of the bottom of something or another. It is, I think 2 inches wide. Yes, 2 inches wide, and that worked. I worked with what I had. So I cut it in half, so we got 2 6-inch bookmarkers. Now then, we're going to take our little template here. This fits right over this little window. Okay? Just like that. So this is my template to cut out this window. I took the plastic off of it, that was a booger to get out. So you gotta work hard on that. Be careful though, don't tear your little template. And we're going to use this sheet of paper. Now I want this part of the paper to be around here. This is going to be cut out, so we're not worried about that part right there. We're going to, let's see, how about right there? Because that's all going to be cut out. How about that? A little bit on the sides. We'll do it right there. How's that? That works. So what I'm going to do is very lightly with my pencil go right in the inside of this. And hopefully I can see that. I'm going to use my handy dandy little, I'm going to get my little bitty scissors. Well, I don't know what I did with them. Here they are. And cut this just because it's a little easier. So I'm going to cut this right along that pencil line right there. Okay, here we go. Cutting is not my strength. I did not make an A in cutting in kindergarten. Actually, I didn't go to kindergarten, but in first grade. So, yeah, I'm so old. They didn't have kindergarten when I went to elementary school. So, I started out in the first grade, a whole year behind what kids start out now. Actually, probably more than that. But Anyway, I'm going to cut right up this edge. And very carefully around the corner. Very carefully around the corner. And back where we started. Hopefully. There we go. So now we have our little hole cut out. If you want to try it, just to make sure, there we go. That's going to fit right over that little space. Now, because this envelope still has the plastic in it, I am going to go ahead and throw my ink pad across the room. Okay, let's try that again. I'm going to go ahead and ink in here, and I was going to use the purple, but yeah, I think I'll use purple. So I'm going to get this out, and we're going to go right down this little line all the way around. And ink this little corners. All the way around this little envelope, because you won't be able to ink it after you get it glued on. So if you want to ink, now's the time to do that. So see, it will show just a little bit more around where that went. It kind of accents the window a little bit. Now then, what we're going to do is get our glue, and probably stuck up again because I didn't put my little needle in there. Of course, it has been a rough day in the cold, snowy Colorado Rocky Mountains. And I'm getting ready to go on date night with my sweet husband. And so I guess I'm just excited. Things are not working as they should. Go around all the edges. Go around the envelope window, but not too close, because it will kind of seep when you get ready to lay it down. And then we're going to take this and very carefully lay it right down on those edges. And glue. Glue. Rub. Glue. Okay. Now then, we're not going to cut this off just yet, but we need something on the inside of this. Now, most of the time your bookmark's going to be down in there, so it's fine. But when it's not in there, you still want it to look pretty. You don't want to look at it and see all of those jiggy-jaggy lines. So what we're going to do is cut off a little piece of this over here and put this little flower in the window. So let's get our cutter board again, and we're just going to cut off a little bit. We don't want to cut off too much. Our thing is only 2.5 inches wide, so we just want to make sure it gets that wide. Cut that off and measure and hope and pray. Ah, perfect. Okay, so we're going to cut this off because this is just stems down here, so we don't want to see stems in our window. We want to see this pretty little flower in our window. Okay, there we go, and it's a little subtle because it's hidden behind the plastic. What do you think? Okay, so now we're going to glue this down on here. And again, this doesn't have to be super glued, because when we get done, we're going to wrap this and make it kind of like a little tube. And those aren't going to show anyway. stay away from this crease down here. You want it to be able to fold up comfortably. And of course I didn't do that. So let's take it off. Let's do it again. Doesn't matter if this doesn't go all the way to the bottom. It's going to be covered. Nobody's going to see it anyway. And we want to make sure that we put plenty of pressure on it to get it even, get it straight. Alrighty. We're going to turn this over and we're going to cut the excess off of this. And the main reason for that, I guess you don't really have to, but you don't want 4 layers of fabric right there on your corner. It might mess everything up a little bit. So I go ahead and cut it off so that it's flush. And there we go. Now we have that part done. All right. Let's go ahead and put just a little bit of ink along these edges, just because we are going to see this edge. Not going to matter. Just makes me feel better knowing that it's inked and it's pretty. There we go. Now then, this is going to be our case. Now I'm going to cut this off at the top here, mainly because when I made this little doodad once before, I didn't make my hole. I made my hole, I just made my hole at the wrong time, and I didn't do it on the front. So, I still didn't get that close enough. Let's try this again. I want it to be right even with that on the front, because I'm going to use my little hole punch here. And I don't want it on the back. I only want it on the front. So I'm going to try as best I can in the light of my light here to center this up. Okay, that's easier said than done. About halfway here, and cut. There we go. So now we have a little pull tab so that when you get ready to use it, someone that you give it to will know that there is something in there that can come out. So we're going to throw our paper away. I have paper going in different places. We are going to, before we fold this, we're going to do the top of this, because inking this little curly Q thing or semicircle here is hard after it's already done. So we're going to do it like that. Now then, let's cut off. Well, let's don't cut it off yet. We're going to fold this over. Down this side. And we're going to have to cut a little bit off because it is too wide. Let's see how this works. It's not very straight, but oh goodness, that's very crooked. Let's try cutting it with the... I didn't do well in cutting in kindergarten. Well, I didn't go to kindergarten, did I? I didn't do well in cutting either. So let's, I kind of cut like driving, and when you see something that way, you turn and go that way. Yes, that's how I cut. Much better. Let's fold this one over. This side's not going to matter too much. I don't know if y'all can see this on here, but there's a little bird right there. He's real faint, but it's a little bird, and I want him to be on the outside. So let's cut off this ever so slightly. Let's see. Let's see how that will work. perfectly. Okay. Maybe just a sliver more. That was more than a sliver, but oh well. All right. Now you want to make sure that you're folded up here. Okay? You're going to fold it up here. If you want to reinforce these edges, we can put double-sided tape down here just to hold it a little better. Let me cover this up so it doesn't dry out. We live in a very dry climate, and it seems like things like that dry out even faster than normal. So let's get some of this. This is 1/8 inch score tape, and we're going to put it right here on the edge. Right on the edge. Put it on the other side. Right on the edge. Give it a couple of swipes with our bone folder just to make sure our glue is down, or our tape is down good. Then it comes off really easy. Since I said that, it won't. Of course not. Okay. That one. We'll get this one. We're going to fold this up here. Fold it and make it. Now, I am going to fold this up just a little bit because these sides are going to be covered. So I want this side to be covered as well. So I'm going to fold it up just so I know where it goes. And then I'm going to very carefully cut each of these little corners out. Ever so slightly. And I angle them ever so slightly because I don't want it to be too much. I just want it to not fold in on itself and make it too bulky. Okay, so there we go. So we have this part. Let's put this part down first. Fold it up. We'll fold this side in first. Go right down along the seam just because that adds a little extra bulk to that corner and makes it a little stronger. All the way around. This is why I usually have a piece of paper down here, but I didn't do that tonight. Okay. Got that. We want to smooth it out really nicely. Doesn't matter that it hangs over a little bit. We can cut that off. Now we're going to glue the other side down. And you have to decide which side you want facing up. Because remember the little bird. And I wanted him on top. So we had to make sure that he was on the top part. Now I want to crease this really well so that those creases stay down. Okay. We have a little sliver up here at the top that is sticking out, so we're going to cut that off. And we had just a little bitty piece right here. So we're going to cut that off. Now then we want to go back to our ink and ink the edges. Now if you don't like to ink, that's quite okay. You don't have to. I just love inking. To me it seems like it makes the project finished. It looks finished. So I ink probably almost everything that I make. And I do the back too because it's not going to be stuck in a journal or anywhere. It's going to be removable, so you want the back to be pretty as well. All right. There we go. And we are now finished with our little case. This is our bookmark case. Okay? So now we're going to work on these. Now, I had another little piece of this paper. Actually, I have a smaller piece here. That's a little smaller, and I made it 6 inches tall, so thereabouts. And so we can put this anywhere that we want on our bookmark. So how about we do it right here where that flower would have been. Right in there. Okay? So we're going to put our glue on our bookmark, not the bookmark paper. And I know everybody else on YouTube is so nice and neat with their glue, and they make it look so pretty, and here I come along looking like a bull in the china closet. But that's kind of just how I roll. I'm a bull in a china closet. Okay, now then, you have a decision to make. You can leave the back of this open, the cardstock, so that the person could write back here if they wanted to. You know, maybe they're reading a really cool book and they want to take some notes, so you can write back here. You could make lines back here. You could cover it with lined paper, or you can fold it in and cover it just like we did the cover here. It's up to you, but I think I'm going to go ahead and cover it. So that's what I think I'll do. Now, that was just really, really smart, Pamela. I didn't quite get it to the bottom, so wonder if it might possibly take this off. No, it's not going to come off, so we're leaving it and we're wrapping it. Alrighty. And we are going to cut this off right down here, pretty even with where we made our boo-boo. We're going to ink our paper, or ink it. We're going to glue our paper. We're going to cut off the top where we can still see it. And fold it over a second time. And in order to get my little bird on there, I'm going to need to go straight to the edge with this. So that's what I think I'll do. Our little bookmark is 2 inches. So my handy dandy pencil again. We're going to draw a line right here just so I know where to cut. And I'm going to cut just on the inside of that line. Okay. And there we go. Okay. So we're going to glue this right down our seam, down the edges. Fold it over. And with our bone folder, we're going to make sure that glue is smoothed out on our bookmark. And I have just a little sliver still left. Those little slivers, that's what'll get you. Yep. Okay, there we go. Now, this is the bottom of our bookmark. It really doesn't matter that that little piece is there. but it bothers me. So what I'm going to do is, let's see if we have some. Now that's way too thick. Let's see about washi tape. See if we have some pretty washi tape. Yep, this is my washi tape, and this is just one drawer. And these are my pinks and purples, and you know, I have 4 drawers of this. Let's see here. I think maybe, let's see how this looks. Maybe, yeah, no. How about some purple dots? Oh, that looks cute. We'll do the purple dots. All right, little drawer, you can go back in here. And I'm going to put some glue on it because this is going to slide down in and out of our little case over here. And so it's going to get a lot of wear and tear. So I want to make sure that it doesn't come off. So I put a little glue behind here, and that'll just help reinforce the washi. I know washi's supposed to stick on its own, and it does really good. But sometimes it comes out. So let's tear that little piece off. Fold this in. Put a little more on top of here. And fold it across this way. I am kind of the queen of goof ups, so when I mess something up, I'm pretty good about figuring out something. So there we go. There we go. We have that. Now let's get our ink. Ink all the way around. Now, if you want to, we could kind of round these little corners here on top and just add a little decoration to it. That makes it look kind of cute. Fold that in here. Turn it over. Let's do the back. We have our little bird on the back of our bookmark too. So there we go. Now we have that little bookmark. And I think that maybe just a little pull up here to help pull this out. Let's see what we have down here in the way of a little piece of lace. Okay, this would work perfectly. I don't know about that. That has an edge, so it's going to look kind of funny. Let's try this one. Or we could do this one. This one's pretty. And it has an edge on both sides. So let's cut off our little dangly. And let's cut a little piece about yay big. And our Fabrifix. And we'll put just a little right here. Turn it over and put just a little bit right here. And fold it over. It doesn't need to be very big. We just need it to look like a tab. So we have a little tab here. And if you wanted to, you could put a gem or a pearl or something like that on it. Now I've got my fingers all glued and sticky, so welcome to my world. Okay, let's put just a little dab there. We want to hold that down. It's kind of hard, probably a piece of lace that wasn't quite so holy would have been better, but I like this, so there we go. All right, so now there's that little tag, and it fits very nicely, hopefully, if I didn't glue it together. I didn't. It's just still a little wet. And slide that right down in there, and we have a darling little bookmark with a case. Okay, so there we go. Cool. Now then, for this other bookmark, same thing. I bought a whole bunch of little stamps, little flower stamps, and they're all about the same. They're different little flowers. I bought these, I think, from Wish or something. I don't remember. But this kind of looks like the flowers that we had. So let's use that one. And we're going to take our template wherever I put it. That goes in the trash. And that goes in the trash. And what did I do with my little template? Surely I didn't eat it. Surely I didn't glue it back in here. I don't know what I did with it. There it is. It was hiding under paper. Of course, paper. And I am going to put this kind of centered over here. Now, this template is a little bigger than our bookmark. But if we center it, it will tell us about where our hole will be. Okay, so there we go. So we're going to do this, scoot it in just a little bit, get our ink and our flowers, and make sure, because I always forget to check the edges. And then we're going to put our little flower right there. Okay. And that's all we're going to do. We're going to ink the edges a little bit, ever so slightly. Not as much, because you want to focus on your little flower. And I'm not going to cover it. I'm not going to cover it with paper. I'm not going to cover it with anything. I'm going to leave the back blank and clean. We have it just like that. And we can put it down in there, and it will show right in our window. So there we go. You can decorate the outside of this. Let's see, I have some words. I think maybe a word is needed. A word is needed. I sure wish I had more stuff. Let's see. These are all of my words that I use. I printed these out, and I think this one would work. So let's put this one on here. It says, "Be still and listen." And I'm going to tear it out. And if you'll tear it towards you on the sides, it will give you this little fuzzy edge, and it picks up the ink beautifully. And and makes it a little easier. Just do it all the way around. Okay, let's ink it. And we want it to be pretty dark. Because we're going to put it down on the bottom of our envelope. And with all of this other purple, it might not show up. So we're going to make it dark. Get our handy dandy art glitter glue, and put it right down here on the bottom. And there we go. Beautiful. We have 2 bookmarks. We can also do the edges of this one. Let's do the edges differently. I have this other little crompa chompa thing, or whatever it's called, and I love these little scallops that it puts. So let's do that. And let's ink up the edge. Not with that. Let's ink up the edge just a little bit more where I cut that so it'll show. That's why it didn't look purple. I used that one a while ago. It's brown. Oh well. Now we have brown and purple. How much better can life be? Now if you wanted to use a word, you could also put a word on your bookmark that maybe has something to do with the book. And see, if you gave this as a stocking stuffer or Christmas present, you could put a book with it. There we go. Leave that sticking out just a tad. How's that? Isn't that gorgeous? So cute, so simple. Whichever bookmark you use. And you know, lots of people read 2 books at once. So you could put them both in here at the same time. There you go. Nice little gift. Doesn't take long to make. I promise you, it gets faster as you go. So, thank you for joining me today. I love having y'all visit. I hope that you're getting something out of my channel. Please like, subscribe, and share it with everybody you know. I live in a little bitty town, so I don't have access to a lot of people, so I'm depending on y'all to pass this on. And you can visit my website store at www.pinkdragonflywings, all one word, wings with a Z.com, and see what other kinds of things we have and if anything might suit you. So come back. We'll see you again in a week. And have a wonderful week. Bye.